What's up to all of my Libras out there? Welcome to Pulse of the Cosmos. I am your astrologer, Emily, and today we are going to be taking a look at this week's astrology for the week of Monday, August 17th through the 23rd of 2020. So, big week this week, you guys. Of course, we have this beautiful new moon in Leo happening on Tuesday with Mercury there, and this is all going to be in trine over to Mars, still over there in Aries, and there's a lot of initiation energy. There's a lot of potentiality in the air for what direction we can go in, but my Libras, it's time to narrow down and pick where we're going to execute. And there's been a lot of attention and there's been a lot of awareness and focus on your future throughout this Leo season as we've been coming through your 11th house. And we've been looking at your friendship groups, and we've been looking at your social groups, and we've been looking at who you hang around, and really kind of formulating a vision in your head for what kind of reality you want to create for yourself. But it's time to get to action with all of that. You know, Mars is trining over to this new moon happening in your 11th house from your 7th house. And these are two social houses. Your 11th house is your friendship groups and your social groups and the people you surround yourself with. And the 7th house is your relationships, the partnerships you're involved in, the projects you're involved in. It's more of the spirit of a one-to-one intimate encounter. So we're really looking to who we surround ourselves with and connecting yourself with those people that are going to help elevate you into those spaces of your best potential. And Mars is coming into his exact square with Saturn later this week over there in Capricorn. This is your 4th house. And these squares with Saturn, Pluto over there from Mars over there in Aries are going to hold for a minute. This is going to be about a month and a half long worth of these difficult angles, of challenges, of obstacles, of things that we need to push through. And this is going to be for you in your 4th house. This deals with your emotional world, your emotional life, your emotional stability, even your home life, your very physical home life world. There could be some challenges come up in situations. Maybe we need to move, or maybe there's a situation coming up within our emotional world that we really need to address, and we can't just kind of be stuffing these things away anymore and distracting ourselves with outside circumstances. I know since the end of 2017, it's been a lot of hard work for a lot of my Libras out there on developing that inner sense of emotional security and going through some very difficult transformative experiences that have kind of shattered in some sense a level of emotional security you've had, and you've had to kind of rebuild in a sense. And now's the time where we're really going to be called to step into our authority and step into our identity and own what we want to create out of this life, my Libras. And this is what I mean by executing. We've got to narrow down the focus and really execute and put our energy in this area so that we can start seeing those gains from the 11th house. This is the 11th house of gains. So we can start seeing the visions of that future that we're trying to create for ourselves manifest. So a lot of this energy in the air, and we do have Uranus now retrograde over there in Taurus, which for you guys is your 8th house. And as Uranus transits through this house, there's a lot of subconscious changes that go on within you, where you're undergoing a lot of inner transformations within yourself, where you're re-identifying with how you want to experience relationships. You're re-identifying with the ways in which you connect to intimacy. Your wants and your needs and your desires have changed. And now it's just about kind of matching the structures of your life to the flow of that direction that you want to go in. We've just got to start executing here, my Libras out there. But in any case, let's peek into the cards and see what's going on here for you guys. And as these pressures come up around your home life or around your emotional world or around your emotional stability, I want you to remember, my Libras, that you have eons worth of internal resources to call upon. Your transcendental soul is eternal. It is an eternal energetic being that has been through many incarnations and many experiences and acquired a lot of self-knowledge. It's just in stepping back sometimes from the outside world and into that inner world to connect with that and see that courage and see that heart and kind of sustain us through some of these more difficult times that could be coming up here. Ooh, who just flew out? The Hanged Man. Okay, so let's see. The Hanged Man definitely implies a sacrifice of some kind. And when we get the Hanged Man, you can see he's even hanging kind of peacefully. There's a level of acceptance in the fact that we have to kind of make this sacrifice in our life. This could be a home life situation. This could be a relationship situation. This could be a money situation. But there's definitely a belief about yourself, even, that you're having to let go of, a belief about the constructs of your life, of the world, that we're having to kind of let go in the wash here and come to some level of acceptance that this situation or this person or this thing wasn't resonant with what your higher self is pushing you in the direction towards. And our challenge this week is in the moon. So yeah, challenge is definitely in the emotions. The moon rules our emotions. And so it is going to be a bumpy emotional this world coming up, and in this world coming up for you guys. And some of these emotions might come up surrounding some of these things we might need to sacrifice or let go of in our lives, and we're struggling to come into that level of acceptance. And we did pull the 10 of Wands coming up next here, and the 10 of Wands holds on to a lot of energy, and the advice here is to let that go. This energy can be dropped and transmuted into something more beautiful and more secure and more stable for yourself. We're holding on to a lot of energetic things from the past with the moon that are just really blocking your growth element, and there's some level of acceptance. Maybe a lot of my Libras are being really hard on themselves out there for some of the decisions that they've been making, or maybe even some of the lack of the decisions you've been making, kind of going with the flow. Maybe you're being really self-critical, and there's always a way to come out of that by doing, how do we build self-esteem? By doing esteemable acts. Start structure. We can look to Neptune. Actually, Neptune is over there in your 6th house, and Neptune coming through your 6th house is offering you an element of support, and ways in which we can integrate this into our lives is looking at your day-to-day routines, looking at the function of your day-to-day, your work life, and looking to see if your habits are really structured in such a way that they flow towards the direction that you envision for yourself in the future. I say this a lot, but it's so important because those structures, structure and function are almost synonymous with each other. We need to build the structure for the appropriate function that we want it to have in some sense. So in any case, I love you all, my Libras, so much. I know we're going to be coming up on some emotionally bumpy roads, and just remember that go reach out to the people that you trust in your life. Reach out to those people that you do feel emotionally secure with sharing your experiences with, and really kind of use the people in your life as a sounding board. And this could even help push you further into that elevation of places to grow. Every time we kind of incorporate the elements of relationships into our life, there is that growth element because we're pushing each other further while we're here on this plane. But in any case, I am getting wordy, but I love you guys so much, my Libras out there. I hope you're doing well, and I will be back next week.